Okay, so let's talk about command line arguments in Eclipse. If you are running a program in a Unix shell, then you often have command line arguments that you might want to add to your run of your program. And we can add command line arguments into Eclipse with Python and pydev as well. So I'm going to assume that you have downloaded the basic Pac-Man test code. This is just the very bare bones Pac-Man stuff that I have given you guys. I'll try and put a link on the description. Anyway, but you've downloaded this stuff, and if you wanted to run just the main Pac-Man run me thing, right? This guy, right? We would just say, you know, you could click on the run button, or you could say run as Python run, right? And bing, bang, boom, it runs, and we get, oops, you can't see it. We get our nice Pac-Man game. But I've put an extra little maze in here that you can play Pac-Man on, but the only way you can access it is if you use command line arguments. So let's do that. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a new run configuration. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the run menu again, but we're going to go to run configurations. And then you can't quite see, there we go, the whole thing. Sometimes you have to like scroll to the left here. And if we look at our Python run configurations, I have a leftover one from my Hello World. I have a couple of, here's one from the one that I usually use. This, come on, let me just see. Can I make this wider? There we go. This one is the one that is for the main test me, whatever. This one is when I tried to run the graphics display code instead of test me by mistake, and it didn't really do anything. Maybe I'll just delete that one. So let's click on that. And it makes it way bigger, which is not so useful. But I'm going to click on that one and then hit the delete button. So I'm pressing the delete button. I suppose, can I right click and say delete? Yeah, so I'll right click and say delete, or you can just hit your delete key. And yeah, let's get rid of that one. I don't really want that in here. And but what I want to do is I want to make a new configuration. So I'm going to click on this little piece of paper up here, new launch configuration. And then what I'm going to do, let's give it a name. I don't like new configuration. Let's do Rowan Maze. Let's call it Rowan Cool Maze for Pac-Man. We need to say what project we're going to be running, because, you know, you may have multiple projects, and right, we have our first project ever in Pac-Man test code. So we're going to browse, and I'm going to pick the Pac-Man test code. Okay. And then you have to say, what's the main module, right? Which of all of these is the one that I want to run? And that is the Rowan main run me. Okay. And we can apply this, and then it resizes again, which is a bit of a bummer, but anyway. All right. And now I'm going to go into arguments, and this is where I can put command line arguments. And what I'm going to do is, I just happen to know, because I set it up, that if you type -L, that's a lowercase l, Rowan game, like this, that you get something super special. So I'm going to apply that too. So now my Rowan Cool Maze for Pac-Man is running the Pac-Man test code, with the main module being this one, and right, the Rowan main one, and arguments now are -L Rowan game. Okay, so let's run that. I don't know if I can shrink this so you can see the whole thing. Can I resize it? No, but check it out. See, isn't that nice? Woo, it's a game with, you know, Pac-Man, and I need to beat it against the, you should be very impressed, okay? Be very impressed. Anyway, so let me close out this game. But now we have a bunch of run configurations. If I look up here, it says I have two choices now to run. So I can run Rowan Cool Maze for Pac-Man. I think it pushes whatever is the most recent run up to the top of this list. But I also have a couple of other configurations. So I can run my Hello World program. Look at that. And even though I don't see the hello world, it's still running it. Or I can click on hello world, and if I say run as Python run, it will run it. But I can also say, click on here, run configurations, let's run the Rowan Cool Maze for Pac-Man, and bing, bang, boom, we get that. Cool, huh?